There's no doubt that Queen Elizabeth amassed a substantial fortune while she was ruling. I mean, why not? She was the longest-reigning British monarch in history. She received, bought, and inherited many properties throughout her reign. Of course, the royal family would inherit or divide most of her possessions. So the question is, what did Queen Elizabeth leave the royal family? Well, in today's video, we will have a look at some items the royal family acquired from the Queen after her passing. Some of the things she acquired or owned might seem a little ridiculous to us common folk, but they were in her possession nonetheless. Let's have a look, shall we? 1. Swans. Swans are referred to as the Queen's birds, and although most people believe that Her Majesty is the only owner of all long-necked, feathered animals in the nation, this isn't the case. The late monarch had the little seigneur of the swans because of a medieval custom, which gave her the authority to assert her ownership of the birds if desired. Moreover, the traditional rule only applies to mute swans in open seas and one species of swan. The Queen only partially used her rights as the seigneur of the swans throughout an 80-mile stretch of the River Thames, from Sunbury-on-Thames, Surrey, to Abingdon-Oxon. Her Majesty didn't own nearly as many swans as many believed she did, or as many as she could have, even though she did hold a small percentage of the nation's swans. King Charles's accession to the throne, the right to assert ownership has now been transferred to him. 2. Designer bags. Rarely was the Queen photographed without her little purse, which frequently matched her outfit. We will overlook what would seem an odd item on the inheritance list because these Launer bags significantly add to Her Majesty's riches. For more than 50 years, Launer London made Her Majesty's handbags and has had the royal warrant since 1968. The price of each latter bag was about £1,400. The Queen provided a good communication line between her attendants and herself by having a bag for every occasion. The royal family princesses will soon inherit them. 3. Residences. The royal family may have been called many names, but there is no denying that they have plenty of homes. You probably already know the common, like Kensington Palace and Windsor Castle, when it comes to the ridiculously gorgeous homes held by the royal family. You might even be familiar with Balmoral Castle, the vacation residence where Queen Elizabeth died recently at the age of 96. She also spent the majority of her childhood years at Balmoral Castle. She cherished this castle and used it as a retreat throughout the summer. Though you might not be aware of many other estates and palaces in the royal family's real estate portfolio, the Queen owned private estates at Balmoral and Sandringham. All of them will be inherited by the royal family. 4. The Tower of London. The Stone Tower of London was the first palace the royal family established. The current king inherits the castle from the outgoing monarch because the Crown traditionally owns the London Towers. The Crown Estate, which belongs to the current monarch, to His Majesty the King in the right of the Crown, holds the Tower of London. The tower has served a variety of purposes throughout its lengthy existence. Originally a splendid royal palace, it later served as a fortress and prison, a place of execution, an arsenal, a royal mint, and a menagerie. It now houses England's valuable crown jewels. Interestingly, 37 yeoman warders, a group recruited from the British Armed Forces, live in the tower. Each must have logged at least 22 years of active duty. They have been manning the tower since Tudor times and are known by the nickname Beefeaters. It also serves as the residence for the renowned Tower Ravens, whose departure would, according to mythology, signal the fall of the kingdom. 5. Hyde Park. One of the most well-known open areas in London is Hyde Park. Although it's unlikely that you'd see the Queen strolling around Hyde Park, she did formerly hold ownership of it. Her Majesty also held Kensington Gardens, the Regent's Park, and the Green Park. The Diana, Princess of Wales Memorial Fountain, Speaker's Corner, Serpentine Lake, and other attractions can be found here. The park also offers guests various leisure activities, including sailing, horseback riding, tennis, cycling, and boating. Moreover, it gives the royal family a chance to interact openly with other members of society. 6. Regent Street. In England, Regent Street, which runs between Piccadilly and Oxford Circus, is a well-known destination for shopping. This area, which is 2 kilometers long, is a must-see. It brings in more than 7.5 million people and even more money. The Crown Estate currently has the Regent as one of its holdings in London and will be given to the incoming monarch. 7. Artwork. Few people can surpass the British royal family's vast art collection. As we celebrate Queen Elizabeth II, we come across some of her astounding 70-year reign's most memorable artist portraits. The royal collection is one of the world's most extensive and widely shown art collections. It is a one-of-a-kind and priceless record of the tastes of kings and queens over the past 500 years, numbering over 1 million items. The collection includes nearly all the contents of royal palaces, well-known paintings, sketches, and other works of art. This is a wonderful present for any art curator. With over 100,000 works of art at different price points, the next in line was successfully given control of the royal collection, which the Queen had organized. 8. Racehorses. Queen Elizabeth II inherited racehorses from her father, King George VI, when she ascended to the throne in 1952. Charles III, who just assumed the throne, will now inherit the racehorses. Her late Majesty was an enthusiastic racehorse breeder, rider, and racegoer. Queen Elizabeth II may have loved well-bred horses even more compared to her love of corgis. The Sun reported that, against initial advice from her health consultants, Her Majesty continued to ride horses in the final year of her life, starting at the age of 3 when she was Princess Elizabeth II. Almost 70 years of racehorse ownership by the Queen have resulted in hundreds of victories. Since the beginning of the sport, there has been a connection between horse racing and the royal family. The British royal family has owned horses for many generations, and King George IV significantly boosted racing in the 1800s. It's difficult to determine how many racehorses the Queen has owned in her lifetime. However, she only had over 150 horses compete throughout the flat season the previous year. 9. Cars. The late British monarch was well known for driving frequently. The life and reign of Queen Elizabeth II has spanned almost 70 years, making her tale nearly as ancient as vehicles. Even baby boomers like Jay Leno didn't have the opportunity to see how cars changed through time as the Queen of England did. What vehicle did Britain's longest reigning monarch choose to travel in, or more likely, to operate? The legendary Land Rover Defender has reportedly been the Queen's favorite vehicle. The Queen has been a devoted Land Rover owner for many years. She has a wide selection of automobiles. The Queen has an incredible collection of vehicles, including Rolls-Royces, Jaguars, Bentleys, and eventually a specially built Range Rover LWB Londelay. Her Bentleys were designed to enable her to stand up and exit the car. It's interesting to know that the approximate value of her automobile is £10 million. It's safe to conclude that the late monarch was a fan of quality and speed, given her interests in fast vehicles and horse racing. 10. Jewelry. The royal family's expensive jewelry collection has historically held great significance, especially as it has been handed down throughout the centuries. Not all of the Queen's jewelry pieces are crowns and tiaras. The entire collection, which includes exquisite earrings, necklaces, rings, brooches, and more, is valued at an astounding $110 million. The most admirable ornaments were included in the Queen's enormous jewelry collection. Part of the collection is the largest clear-cut diamond in the world, often referred to as the Great Star of Africa, a prominent piece of jewelry in the collection. It stands tall with a weight of 530.2 carats and a net worth of £51 million. Mary of Teck, George V's wife, received this diamond and other gifts. Cullinan I was subsequently added to the crown jewels. It had a cross on it and was placed in the sovereign scepter. The diamond pertains to the crown because it is used on the sovereign scepter during the coronation of a monarch. I think it's fair to say she had a healthy chest of riches to her name. Without a doubt, she lived comfortably and elegantly throughout her years as queen. So which of her possessions impressed you the most? And do you think King Charles will enjoy them as much as the Queen did? We'll wait and see. Before you go, smash like, hit subscribe, and see you in the next video.